second partial. So please take out your notebooks. Okay, take out your notebooks and we're going to begin. So we left the story, okay, we left the story in our little timeline. Remember that from 1914 to 1918, we have World War I. And World War I had many phases, but we can divide it into two phases. The War of Movements, when everybody thought that war was going to be over in a few months and that things were going to be cleared out very simply, and the War of Trenches, because people realized, especially the political and military leaders, they realized that basically the war was not going anywhere, and so they were trying to play their cards off, trying to hurt the other person, okay, hurt the other person in economically. So whoever goes out of money, whoever goes bankrupted first, that one would lose the money. So they built up a lot of grudge. Okay, that's like the code word for World War One. Okay, among all the powers, they built a lot of grudge. And finally, in 1918, in the 11th day of the 11 months, okay, it would have been awesome that it was like 11, right? But it's not. So in the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, we're gonna sign the armistice. The armistice is a document previous to the Treaty of Versailles. Okay, the armistice is only the surrendering. That word is going to hurt the pride of the Germans. Surrendering just sounds so awful. Surrendering. So can you imagine a proud German surrendering? That's impossible for them. It did not fit in their heads. So that's why it got them so hard. Okay, so they signed the armistice, and in 1919, okay, in 1919, we're gonna have the Treaty of Versailles. And this is our last topic from last partial, all right? So yeah, please write in your notebook. The Treaty of Versailles stated, among other things, that Germany was to assume all responsibility of the war, and that meant that they assume all costs of the war. They had to pay the bill of all the reconstruction of Europe, okay? So that was pretty messed up from the Allies, from Woodrow Wilson, from Frederick Roosevelt, from Clemenceau, from Winston Churchill, okay? That was pretty bad, okay? So, George Lloyd, Winston Churchill was not there yet, okay? So here we ended our past partial, okay? We started a little bit seeing the Russian Revolution, which is the cause in 1917 why Russia withdrew from the war, remember? And we said, basically, to sum it up, because we're not going back to the Russian Revolution anymore, okay? To sum it up, we're gonna say that Vladimir Lenin started a revolution, okay? Vladimir Lenin started a revolution in St. Petersburg in 1917, a revolution that had obviously a very big background. People were very mad at Tsar Nicholas II. They didn't like him. They didn't like the fact that he was so authoritarian. They didn't like the fact that he married a German princess. They didn't like the fact that they couldn't conceive a healthy child. Okay, they conceived like 4 daughters, and then Alexei, which was he was very sickly, a sickly child. And so that instability of not having a heir to the throne, okay, that made people very insecure about the dynasty. And obviously the authoritarian method that Nicholas II had, okay, he wasn't very popular among the people. And so, we're going to leave the Russian Revolution out. What comes out of the Russian Revolution is going to be retaken right now, okay? So basically, we're going to see the period during this partial that is called the interwar period. Why is it called the interwar period? Obviously, because it's between World War I and World War II. So if something goes in between World War I and World War II, it's called the interwar period. Okay. So Here in the interwar period, we're going to have many events. Okay, one of the events is a depression. That depression includes the United States 1933 Thursday 29th of October crash of the market in New York. Includes it, but it's not exclusively that. Okay, that's why we're not calling it the Great Depression. We're calling it just the Depression. All the countries were paying reparations of war, especially Germany, and all the economies were hit. Okay, they were hit by the war, and the boom that all the economies had, it goes down. Okay, my logic here is the broken glass metaphor. Let's say I am playing soccer in the street and I am saving up as well so that I can buy a popsicle. Okay, I want to buy a popsicle every day in summer. And so I go out, I'm playing, and I have my $5 to buy a popsicle. And then I'm playing soccer, and then I kick it so hard that I break a window. Now, the woman that lives in that house gets out, obviously yells at me, calls my mom, and she arranges with my mom that I have to pay that window. Okay, if I have to pay that window, it's going to cost me $5. It's a very cheap window, obviously. It's exactly the money that I had to buy a popsicle for every day during this week. Now, what's going on? I am represented by breaking the glass. Okay, I am representing an income, a new income for the window maker, glass seller, or however you want to call it. Maybe the window seller or the glass maker is saying, hey, my production went up. My client numbers went up. And economy is raising for me. I have to spend it in buying a window. Am I still on? Hi, guys. Yeah? Oh, okay, perfect. Because it just gave me like a weird screen. Okay, thank you, sweeties. So, what I was saying is that if I break a window and I go and buy a window, oh, okay, let's see. Okay, let me just go backward, okay, a little bit. Sophia, do not use bad words, please. Okay, so if I'm playing in the street and I break a window and that makes me buy another window, another glass, and the seller, the window maker, whatever you want to call it, okay, says, oh, my business went up because this day I sold more than what I expected. Okay, that means that economy is going up? Not at all. That means that I had to buy a window with the money that I had put for my popsicles every single day. So my buying and spending on a broken window is going to take away money from the guy that sells popsicles. So in the war, during the war time, we experienced that with manufacturing goods, manufacturing weapons. Okay, the factories that used to make refrigerators started making weapons. The factories that did clothes, that did clothing, then they started making uniforms for war. So that means that my economy boosted. Obviously, yes, apparently in the short term, but in the long term, when everything goes back to normal, the economy resents. Okay, because it's a production that could not be sustained. All right, it could not be sustained because the war is over now, and all of the things that I put up for the war are not wanted anymore. Okay, so my money, my energy, my labor force that was supposed to be building or developing new technology or doing things inside my country went to war. And all the economy was directed to war. So whatever business that was not into the war or the intelligence business. The country, obviously, that is going to be more affected is Germany. Germany is going to be down to the floor. Okay, it's going to be knocked down completely, totally. All right, and we're going to see how their money devaluates and everything goes just to hell. Okay, so that's what we're going to call the depression. But there's another thing. Okay, another thing that is pretty important. Out of these, we're going to see the rise of totalitarian regimes. You have to write, guys. Write, please. Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit. I don't know why is it... I don't know. I have full signal for some reason. And I just had class like all morning and nobody had a problem. Okay, let's try again. Are you there? I have full signal, sweetie. I think it's not me. Okay, let me go back, okay? Let me go back to the economy. If all the economy resources, my money, my people, my labor force, my materials, they were employed in war stuff, uniforms, weapons, etc., technology, okay? Obviously, I stopped allocating those resources from I shifted away from other endeavors, from other duties, all right? So, what's basically happening here. I know, sweetie. I know. Welcome, Ivana. You're late, like always. All right, let's keep on going. So we're going to talk about another thing. Okay, we talked about the economic factor. That means, the recession. After a boost, we don't have a war anymore. We don't have those necessities anymore. And so the economy goes downhill. Okay. Now, the other thing that is going to happen is the rise of totalitarian governments, totalitarian regime. A regime is a type of government. Okay. And so we're going to have in Italy, Benito Mussolini. We're going to have in Germany, Adolf Hitler. We're going to have in Spain, Francisco Franco. We're going to have in Russia, Joseph Stalin. We're going to have in China, Mao Zedong. Okay. So every big empire, every big country is going to have its guy. It's totalitarian, authoritarian, all-powerful, all-know-it-all person that has this politician style, but mixed up with a very humongous hunger for power, okay? And that is, it goes out of bounds, okay? So we have the rise of totalitarian regimes. That's another topic that we're going to see. And obviously, with a focus on Nazism. Why Nazism? Because the story of Germany is the story of World War II. Okay, is the story of World War II. A lot of things are going to happen in the interwar period. It's a time of a lot of instability, okay, a lot of political instability, economic instability. Like in all sorts of way, there's a lot of instability. We have from 1919 to the breakup of the Second World War, we're going to have 20 years. Okay, we're going to have 20 years from 1919 to 1929. We're going to have the Great Depression, and very important, Germany as well as Japan. Okay, so I think We're not getting signal again. Guys, I swear it's not me. Are you using your Wi-Fi or are you using your, what are you using, for God's sake? Hi, Diego, how are you? Okay, so basically, let's go back again, all right? So in the interwar period, we're gonna study the Great Depression and the rise of totalitarian regimes with a focus on Nazism. So we're gonna see how it builds up to the Second World War. Obviously, basically, okay, it can reduce to grudge. The Treaty of Versailles set up all the conditions for the German people to look for revenge after a period of time that was hatching and hatching and hatching until it broke out. It broke out in the invasion of Poland in 1939, September 1939, with the start of World War I. So if World War II, if I was to ask, what was the spark, that fire for World War I, you would say the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. If I was to say, what is the spark that lit the fire of World War II, we should say the invasion of Poland. Okay, so that we can study World War II in a very nice way. So you're gonna have to look in Moodle for a lot of resources, and I'm gonna teach you class online, but then also you're gonna have to do some homeworks online in Moodle and then post it as a homework so that I can check it through the platform. And in that way, we're gonna be in contact all the time. All right, so basically, I just wanted to give you an introduction today and give you like a panoramic view of what we're gonna see. So this is basically it. Okay, now, do you have any questions so far of what we can see? I already said that personal questions that are in a personal matter or a pending matter from the first partial, you have to see me directly. Okay, Danny has my cell phone, so you can contact him and then me, or you can have him as an intermediary for this dynamic. Yes, there will be an exam. Yes, of course, but it's gonna be online. I don't like that, but I'm gonna have to do that. Okay. Grudge, sweetie, grudge. Grudge is like revenge, like a resentment, something that I put down in my heart and I let it go because it just hurts so much. Grudge. Okay? Resentment. That's grudge. With you, not with a, with you. Any other question? Let me know. Okay, perfect. So that's it for today, guys. And we're gonna connect, I think, on Tuesday. All right. We're going to connect on Tuesday during class time. So be attentive to my announcements and be attentive of the Moodle platforms for more homework. All right. So thank you for today's attention and we'll be in contact. Bye-bye.